Good pick today. Good pick, Curtis. Monday edition of the Sports Cage. 10-2. You heard them. Riders are rolling. We got 3 hours for you thanks to Kellen Solar sponsoring this program on Monday. Maz is going to be with me. Like I said, Curtis is in the pocket riding shotgun. What a weekend. Last night included. If you're a football fan. If you're not a football fan, you might want to go find somewhere else to go for the next little bit here because this is going to be football heavy. We will talk about the Queen of Canada too because I'm really confused about that story for starters. But we got football out the yin-yang, as they say. We got Riders. Luc Mullinder's coming in at 3:30. Edmonton? Like, come on. I hope they were partying. I hope something was ablaze and they were hanging outside of cars and flags. How did the Elks beat the Stamps? And if you say, well, because it's the rematch and it would have happened, did you watch the game last weekend? Thank you, Edmonton, pulling a solid. But you're in trouble with Connor McDavid. Coach's show coming up in hour 2. Joshua Bell, defensive back coach, is going to be on the program. More football chat, and then Darian Durant in hour 3. Rams, Hilltops, Thunder, high school, and then NFL last night. Steven saying best weekend ever for football. Can we start with these comments right here? Bring in Maz. It starts with last night, and the Rider fans, pump the brakes here. We're going to get to this in a bit. But if you didn't watch the Buffalo-Baltimore football game till the end, you missed something. Like, you missed. Now, I'm not going to be Chris Collinsworth, who thinks that was the greatest football game ever played. When Josh Allen threw that basic corner route as an NFL quarterback and he lost it saying that only certain people can make that throw, I was like, Chris, keep your pants on. Like, yeah, it's a great football game, but there's other games that rank up there. Now, the football weekend thing, I don't know, Maz. And we go into Winnipeg, which for a long time there in that game, it felt to me, again, who the hell am I? It doesn't matter. It felt like the Calgary games. I was like, ugh, we just can't get anything going. There's no substance to our game. And I'm like, don't say this is how it's going to go down. Because I personally think we're watching my eyeball test. We're a better football team than Winnipeg. And I'm like, we can't lose this game. We've got to win this game somehow. How did you see it?
I think what got the spark going for the Riders on Saturday was near the end of the first half when Zach Collaros ended up throwing that interception, which the Riders then ended up turning into a field goal to get 3 points. And I'm like, that was bad. It's kind of like this. Is this going to be the break that we need to get off the mat to get things rolling? And then it did. And then from there, it just seems that the Bombers couldn't do anything. And the big thing about that game, once again, and I'm thinking, if you're any team, why would you throw between the numbers in the middle on the Riders? Throw the outs. In the middle, that's what happens. The big story from the game, the hit and Zach Collaros. Was it dirty? No. Was it unfortunate? Yes. Was it a penalty? Yes, because that's the point of contact, was the head. And it's unfortunate that Zach didn't leave the game, but you knew instantly from there with Chris Streveler coming in, I knew, I'm like, there's no chance Winnipeg wins this game. They just don't. The Riders are eventually a good enough football team that whatever is slowing them down, they'll get it together and they will win. And all the people are so mad. It wasn't a penalty. It was. It was. The point of contact, it was. And I saw like online, and Rivas is defending himself on Twitter. I'm not a dirty player. No, you're not. It was unfortunate. But that was the initial point of contact. And for the past 2 years, they've been calling that every time. Every time.
Who was it last year that hit somebody low and that way he just fell into him? Who was it? Miles Brown. That one. Mm-hmm. on Strevler. That one was more, thanks, Curtis. That one was more of a noodle scratcher, like how in the world. This, hey, I got a 306 on my phone, but as a football fan, in 2025, mind you, let's keep in mind we're in 2025 where you can look at somebody wrong and you can get in trouble and someone will complain and all this. How they protect quarterbacks now, not that it's a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I haven't looked at all the data. Yeah, they are the celebrities. They are the star players of the league. That is a penalty. If that happens to Trevor Harris, we want the flag thrown, yada, yada. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Who cares? Take the 15 yards and move on.
If that was 2013 and that's Darian and he gets hit like that, nothing. Next play. There's nothing happens. Next play. Back up. If Darian can't get up, backup comes in. But now, yeah, you take the 15 yards, but you got Zach Collaros out of the game. Chris Streveler comes in. And normally, I've seen them when Streveler comes in, they've had a unique running game. Like they did some, but they just didn't. They just seemed they didn't have any fire. The fight that happened at the end of the Calgary-Edmonton game, because guys were feisty, I'm like, Winnipeg's got no fight left. Like there was really nothing. It was a real kind of emotional letdown after that. And then the Riders just did what they did, chipping away, making plays, getting first downs.
Okay.
Simple, Kurt. I don't know. His head's the first thing to go.
Prairie Land Rentals text line. You can go at it through YouTube or you can go at it regular style, 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street. Deal with the owner, and they can hook you up with anything you need rental-wise or Husqvarna. Okay, let's get to some of these on YouTube. What are we throwing up here? Which one did you read? Yeah. Mask hitting the side of his helmet. I'd imagine helmet to helmet would be worse. For sure. Still a penalty in this day and age. The initial contact was body, then head. What replay are you watching? The same one that you are. Still a penalty in 2025. Revis, to his credit,
to like it.
Yeah. Revis, to his credit, is shorter than Zach. LOL. Steven said that. Sure. Still a penalty.
If this happens, like you said, if this happens to Trevor Harris, we want the flag. Let's do the replay. We want the 15 yards. It's just, it wasn't dirty. It was unfortunate, but that's a penalty. And luckily it didn't cost the Riders. The Riders ended up winning. Like this is where, like right there. Like
even if it does, there's 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 15 yards there can't define the game for you. It can't, especially in the CFL. You have a whole nother quarter to play where you have clock stoppages all over the place. You're fine. It's a penalty in 2025, clear as day. Now, like you said, Streveler comes in
and looked awkward.
I think he'd be a dude. Like I think you'd want to hang out with him, but how he throws the ball, how he don't you feel like when they show him on the sideline, like he should be just like ripping a dart, fixing a transmission or something? Like he just looks like
an awesome. He looks like an awesome guy. If he was a Rider, Rider Nation would love him. They'd be dressing like him at games, fur coat, shirtless, shades, cowboy hat, cigar. And that's a Pilsner Cup idea. Sorry, but he just didn't look comfortable. They were able to get the running game going, but it just didn't seem to be enough. It was that field goal. It was that just sort of that innocent interception at the end of the first half that allowed the Riders to kind of climb back in and kick that field goal that got them going, that got the spark. Because once again, Winnipeg gets out to a lead, and then the Riders just chip away and chip away and chip away. And without Zach Collaros, they're a totally different football team. The playbook gets limited. You know, like right there, 13-3, and then they end up making it 13-6.
We have in hour 2 the coaches show coming up for Regina Steel Craft Doors and the Roughrider Foundation 50/50. I think one of the questions we should ask Coach Joshua Bell is that blitz call, because I love the call. Like he comes out of I'm not going to say nowhere. I'm not going to be Chris Collinsworth, but that is well disguised, and he gets on his horse in a hurry and gets there.
Great football play. What was that comment? Not as bad as Craig Butler on Buck Pierce. Craig Butler would be thrown out of the league for that hit on Buck Pierce. In today's game, oof.
No.
Remember the punishment
if you can't get thrown out of the game if you can't get thrown out for gambling, you'd maybe get 2 games. Which hey, to each their own. Go nuts.
Eliminator.
Okay, let's get to some of the post-game. Let's get to some of the post-game comments after the game, starting with Coach Mace, who praises Mark Mueller.
I think just full team effort. Defense stood up when they needed to. Offense, specifically at the end there to come out. We put ourselves in a situation, pinned us on the 1. Hell of a play call by Mueller to go up top. Even how we finished, with Tommy Stevens going up in there. And then, ultimately, Brett got us to 8. So I thought it was full team effort, man. Just proud of the guys, man. Tough place to play.
Coach, we're gonna get to the rest of it, but you mentioned Mueller right off the top. I saw that he got the game ball. Talk about his continued development here and where the key moments came in this game specifically.
Oh man, I thought he dialed up the run game on those guys early. Some of the deep shots that we were taking as well. Trevor was seeing it well. They see the coverage. They're going up, and the guys are coming down with it, man. But it's all easy when you're sitting on the couch and saying we should do this and do that. But when you're down, when you're in Winnipeg and the crowd's going crazy, and you're on the 1-yard line to make a call like that. We got utmost faith in everybody in the building, man, and just incredibly proud of Mark.
That was a dagger. That was a dagger, that play.
Yeah, and that's a little shade at the armchair quarterbacks. When you're sitting at home in your sofa or Chesterfield, you don't really know all that's going into this with Mark Mueller and how they're calling that game and how difficult it would have been to call that game on the offensive side and the defensive side.
Mace, just the appreciation you can hear in his voice for what Mueller's doing. Mm-hmm. Don't think that other general managers in the Canadian Football League haven't taken notice of what the Riders are doing. And I'm just saying this now. Be prepared. Now, if we are considered the team with a wealth of riches in coaching and players, this is where roster raids happens. I know we're getting way further down the road, but our kryptonite was Winnipeg Stadium. It's Princess Auto Stadium. And on Friday's show, it was 2,554 days since we'd won a game there. And on day 2555, we snapped the streak. So we've completed 2 of 3 against the Bombers. We've got 1 more to go. As I said in the preseason, if we can beat Winnipeg 3 times this year, twice in their house, look out. Look out.
And part of it, 40% of it is because he came on the show a couple of weeks ago and he's a great guy and he made some time and, when he was here, everyone, for the most part, loved him. You hope that's not the last play Zach Collaros plays. I think they're calling it a neck and he bounces back and you hope it just comes. Curtis is just going to play this till it. Hope.
Milt Stiegel said in the Edmonton game on the panel, because the panel was up in Edmonton at Commonwealth, and Milt Stiegel said, and I saw him do it live, and then I saw that like a rerun on Twitter, saying that for the sake of you having a good life after football, make that your last play ever in the Canadian Football League and retire. He doesn't think that he should, even if he is cleared, he should come back. There's been way too much. Way too many things have happened.
Colin on the YouTube chat here. I understand protecting the QB, but that seems like coincidental contact to Zach's head. Shouldn't that be considered in the replay center? Colin, it should. And back in our day, because I think Colin's from actually the west side in Saskatoon. I think he went to Bedford. Back in the day, yes. 2025, no. Penalty all day long. I don't care who the quarterback is. Apparently the Piffles podcast bus trip was a success. It looked like the Rider fans that I know that were there had a lot of fun. That stadium looks like an absolute party. At some point, maybe taking a game there is slightly on the bucket list. The only 2 things I really love in Winnipeg are Silver Heights and Salisbury House. I might add that stadium if I go there. But I thought, and it was 2018 or 17. That's a long,
18.
Like, it doesn't seem like that long ago.
But it's a generation removed of Rider football. Chris Jones was the head coach and general manager. I think at the
top
time.
button. Big top button guy. Got to do up that top button.
And Zach Collaros was our starting quarterback. And the Riders won that game 32-27. Yeah, it's a generation removed for Rider fans. Like, I had to go watch the highlights. I'm like, wow. Willie Jefferson was a Saskatchewan Roughrider. Like, that's how long ago it was. Willie was doing Willie things.
Okay, sorry everyone else on the Prairie Line Rentals text line, the regular, we got to get to you too. But I'm going to say this will be the only time this week, personally me, you're doing the show Wednesday. For me, this is the only time this week I'm talking about Brett Lauther for the next, let's call it 5 minutes here, okay? And it's going to start with, I think it's Luke interviewing Brett, Curtis, after the game on Saturday. Just listen to this whole exchange. You got to love Brett. He's so honest. Here we go.
5 for 5 today, man. How good does that feel considering the sort of the narrative that's been floating around here in Rider Nation?
A win's a win. That's all we care about, especially over here. That's still a great football team and a really tough place to play. It wasn't perfect by any means from me, but we found a way to win one, and that's what we came to do.
How have you managed to keep the focus on everything but Brett Lauther, right? Like, because the narrative becomes so strong, and you've gotten really good at just keeping the main thing. That's a win.
Yeah, it sucks, just having your name be the focus when there's so many good things in here. That's the last thing I want. But it's part of football, it's part of pro sports, and sports is a crazy thing sometimes, and it's one of those years for me. But everyone in that room just still believes in me, and that's kind of what keeps me going, is the guys in the room. And this team's different. We're a family in there. Everyone's got each other's back, and no one's turned it on me, and I do the same to them.
Yeah, and that's been really evident, man, as I sat down here and sort of listened to the post-game celebration as you guys came streaming in. It is starting to feel like family around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best team, best locker room, best coaching staff. Everything Coach Mace has done, everything J.O., this whole organization from top to bottom, Craig, you name it. There isn't one person in this organization that doesn't work their butt off to try to win football games. And, our record's reflective of that, but it's a lot of fun to play football, even though personally not having the best year, but it's not about me. Like I said, it's about the team winning football games, and I'm trying to do everything I can to get this right.
Right, and it's funny, the football at the end of the day, no matter if you play 2 years or you play 20 years, it ends up being such a blip on the radar of life. You being a new father now, has that changed your routine at all?
Yeah, I don't want to make this sound like it's coming off the wrong way, but honestly, nothing else matters to me in this world besides her. I love playing for the Riders. I bleed green. This is like the funnest thing. I'll look back someday. I'm going to miss this so much, and these guys and everything we're doing. And, it's still just a blessing every day to wake up and play for this team. But having her now, that's my main thing, and that's my focus. And it's probably the only thing in life I really haven't messed up. So,
and has it changed? Like, have you been like, okay, you usually get a resistance band routine in the morning. Oh no, I got to make sure the breakfast is done before. Like, how has that gone?
I'm definitely getting up a little earlier to spend some time in the morning with her, get the diapers changed, get everything set for my wife. So when she's up, I can head to work, and then, try to scoot home as quick as I can, still get all my work in, still mash everything in, make sure we're working every day, because this is priority is trying to win a Grey Cup here, but, trying to get home to see her as much as I can. This is the first time leaving her, and it's crazy. I can't wait to get back tonight and just see her and hold her and see my wife.
He's so honest. Love it. And if anyone out there that's a parent, you get it. When you have, especially your first child, no disrespect to the second, it's like, Kate, nothing else really matters. You get it after that. If you're a parent and you don't have that feeling, I feel sorry for you, but that's usually how it rolls.
Oh, I 100% agree. It's funny you say feel sorry for the second kid. What about the fourth? That
was me. I was the fifth. Oops. I took it with a grain of salt.
He went 5 for 5, and it was good. He did miss a convert on the touchdown, he missed the convert on the touchdown. And hey, as long as it doesn't end up costing us games, whatever you're doing or working through. Now, keep in mind, we've all kind of had our say. Watching weekend number 1 of the NFL, how many dudes down there missed field goals, extra points, and all of that? Their guys are missing there too. It just does, which leads me to think, where do they kick the convert from? Is it the 32 or the 35? Oh. I'm thinking, to make this game more interesting, let's back it up another. If it's the 32, make it the 35. Why not make it the 40? Make it more of a challenge. Because look at even Winnipeg's field goal kicker, who's been rock solid. How many field goals did he miss on Saturday? 2 or 3? Those are valuable points for Winnipeg.
And Castillo doesn't miss those very often.
I know.
And you know what? I'm trying to think of who he looks like, who he reminds me of. What is going on with Mario Alford here, too? I know we've had a number of texts on this. What? Is that just brain cramp? I know the last couple of games, people have been hard on him.
Yeah, I know. So those
He's trying
are
to reverse the field
mistakes.
there. Trying to reverse the field, for sure.
Now, it's funny. With our record 10-2, and if we run away with it, it's not a problem. In a close game, or if that was a playoff game and we have a brain cramp like that, and that's something that kind of almost innocent ends up costing you, sometimes those are tough to overcome. Because that could have been a safety. That could have been a safety.
Yeah, no. If you're watching the stream, it's kind of like, what the... Who is that? Who is wearing number 2? Did they just bring someone in from the crowd? Like, that was wild, man. Can we go to break here? And then I don't know if you want to talk about it when we come back. I thought it was Ontario Wilson, and then all of a sudden it's Pokey. That's one of the things in the sporting world, when all of a sudden there's a new name for a guy. I didn't get it. I've never heard of it before. Has it always been Pokey Wilson? It was Ontario.
I didn't know it was Pokey until earlier in the week when he got re-signed, and then that was in the story, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Although I wasn't really paying attention to him before as a Bomber, but this week I'm like, okay.
Well, they came. It is. We can ask Joshua Bell about that too, because they went to him often and early. It's the old Coming to America barbershop. His mama called him Ontario. I'm going to call him Ontario. Coming to America fans, you know that line. Let's take a break. It's a Sports Cage for Kellen Solar. Anything you need solar, they're in Lumsden, Saskatchewan, and they're local. They're not going to run away on you. We got a whole lot more to come. Luc Mullinder especially. We're curious to get his take on a number of things from the game on Saturday. Maz is entertained. It's a Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. For Kellen Solar on Monday, Maz is with me. Curtis is in the pocket. They wanted engagement on the show, Maz, and do we have it? Both the YouTube channel and the regular Prairie Land Rentals text line are going off. So today, Curtis has got a big job. He's going to give away rider tickets with Pick the Score, 936-6262. But the best text message of the day on either platform, our friends at KFC, free 6-piece bucket feast. 6 pieces of bird from KFC and 2 large sides. Text of the day, because they sponsor the game day end zone Big Crunch for $4.95, Big Crunch combo for $7.95. So they said, hey, would you want to give some of these away on the show? Absolutely. Who doesn't want a little KFC in their life, right? So Curtis has got...
Would you go double... If you get 2 sides, would you go double gravy?
No, but you know what I will do, because I'm a fancy boy? I only eat white meat, so I'll upgrade.
Oh, me too.
For strictly white meat. You know when you're a kid though, and you just love drumsticks. Like my kids are just like, give me a drumstick. That's easy to eat. Go at it. Okay, so text of the day. Keep the text messages coming. There's a bunch to read here. One quickly that I'm going to point out was Brendan, who's listens to the show, I think most days. Educated here. Riders owning third quarter time of possession was huge. Offense wasn't flashy, but effective. So a lot more. Keep it coming. And then some pictures, too, if you're harvesting out there. Probably need a little KFC in your life if you're harvesting. But let's go to the Western Pizza guest hotline. Western Pizza, perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings. Luc Mullinder standing by, color commentator on our Rider broadcast. We don't want to keep him waiting anymore. Do you want KFC just a little bit now after I talked about it for the last minute and a half?
Yeah, but not the white meat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
No, that's fine. To each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to go with the thigh or the drumstick. The white meat's good in some occasions, but like probably just Christmas and Thanksgiving, right? Like the rest of the time, you got to be eating the dark meat, man. You got to go.
I'd put KFC popcorn chicken in a bracket challenge of quick fast food things right up there. Don't want to eat it too often, but
the popcorn chicken's good. I think that the most underrated aspect of KFC are the wings. Oh. Now, a lot of people don't. Yeah, the spicy wings, they got the breaded wings. Those are phenomenal. I can smash a 20-piece within seconds.
Okay, that's a nice tarp. That's a nice tarp, by the way. I like that.
Yeah, this is just this is my around the house no Zoom meetings t-shirt. I had a light day at work today. It was just a bunch of catch up work and stuff, so I could relax.
Then I got to go talk to these two pigeons. That's what you were thinking.
Nah, man, this is the best part of the day, man. I was excited to do this.
Hey, Luke, I said I threw it out to Maz. I felt there for most of that football game, it was like grindy. It felt to me like the Calgary games where I'm like, oh no, we got a chance to lose. Unfortunate for Zach, but just up until the point, we'll get into the Zach hit in a bit. Up until that point, was it just kind of a hang on, keep it close kind of thing for the Riders? Was that what you were feeling, or what were you feeling in the booth?
I felt it was a really physical game. I think that. Again, when we talk about our three keys, during the pregame, a lot of that is predicated on just like overall, what type of battle do you see going? And I think that my first key last week was you can't have any turnovers. And the reason why is, I mean, if you look at the Labor Day game, the Winnipeg probably stayed in it because the Riders made some mistakes and turned the football over. And when you go into this game, one of the things that you do know is physical. It's a physical battle. Winnipeg really gets up for it. And again, so the no turnover aspect is more just saying, hey, it's going to be close. So just don't give them anything that they're not willing or they're not able to get themselves, right? So, I did think it was just sort of I'm not sure about wait and see, right? I just I think it's just indicative of one team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, looking to right-size some of the things they might have done or might not have done so well in the Labor Day game. And I think it was Winnipeg. I think that they understood that this was a little bit of a desperate situation for them. I think they probably, I don't think they'll admit it now, they probably thought it was a must-win game for a lot of reasons. And the best team definitely won. I think Saskatchewan's a little bit more talented. But more importantly, too, the other thing is that, the coaching staffs, our coaching staff did a fantastic job all the way through the Labor Day game and the Labor Day rematch. I thought Mark Mueller was terrific. Obviously, a lot of things have to go right, but when you're on the 1 yard line and you give your quarterback an opportunity to air it out, knowing that it's going to put you in a tough spot if you miss the first shot, I thought that was it wasn't a I don't think it was a gutsy or ballsy call. What I think it was, though, was an acknowledgement of Mueller to his troops that he trusts them in big moments. And that's fantastic. And they executed, right? I mean, Robustelli's not going to pull away from you. All right? He's not going to win a 40-yard dash, that's for sure. But he can route you, and he's solid. He got out there and he got the job done. So I think that overall they should be really happy with not just the result, but with the way it played out. And obviously now you got Montreal coming into your building, and there's going to be everybody telling you how good you are. Everybody's going to be excited. It's an up week. You got to approach it the same way as you approached the last 2 weeks, and respect the process and have a great practice week, because Montreal, they may be struggling, but they're pros too. And on any given Saturday or Sunday, right, boys?
Rumor I heard of a text message from a fella said Davis Alexander could be making the flight.
Wow,
Luke,
really?
I agree with you. So the three plays for me that stick out: the Robustelli was a dagger. Obviously, Zach leaving the game, and the Bombers were flat. There was no emotion or fight, I felt. And then
No.
I thought the interception near the end of the first half with 30 seconds left, it was 13-3. The Riders were able to kick a field goal. And as simple as those 3 points were, I was like, good. The door is now a little open. Now we're coming back. That, to me, it ended up being huge. And I suppose if there was the fourth play, Winnipeg's field goal kicker having his worst game of the season, because all of those misses would have put him ahead. So to me, that was the game in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think that for Saskatchewan, Winnipeg right now doesn't have the team that's able to really get downfield quickly enough and cover if they're in a double-digit hole. I think that's why you see them. They need to keep the games close, because the minute they turn into sort of a 2-minute offense where it becomes sort of an air-it-out approach, I just don't think they're there anymore, and that's okay. That's just the battle that they've got to go through. I think that they were really too conservative when Strevler went in. I think they should have trusted him a little bit more. They came out and they ran a pretty bland package. And I get it, right? Chris Strevler is who he is. He's not going to he hasn't shown that he can consistently dice a team up. But I felt like they didn't even try. I felt like they left a lot out there play calling wise. And I thought that they didn't do a very good job defensively play calling either. And the amount of times we saw them roll out their 3-man front and in some really odd occasions, you're right. Maybe bland is the word for it, but they didn't seem inspired at all, Maz. That's a really good observation, and it's too bad because they lost for it.
Was it the coaching thing too? And we're getting a number of text messages here. Actually, a number of the text messages are saying Luc's the best analyst in the league. He needs to be on television. And it's like, no, he doesn't need to be on television. He doesn't need to be on television. He's living in Regina. He's got a beautiful backyard. I'm told things are good here for Luc. He's not going anywhere. But no, we got 3 messages. They love your... There was a play, and I think it was Keyshawn Johnson. And it was late in the game where it was the same play that we had on us last week with the Dembski, the pass interference call. I felt that Keyshawn sold it a bit. The old Tyler Lockett play from Russell Wilson. And I'm like, there's the little coaching pieces of a game, Luc, that are so key. What about that blitz call where unfortunately Collaros gets hurt? What do you think about that call there and the play and the subsequent injury?
It was funny in the broadcast. We were saying, hey man, this is. I think it was a series before that or so. We were talking about the fact that hey, let's start dialing up that strong side blitz with CJ Rivas coming off the edge, and realistically. It sucks that Zach got hurt. I don't think it was a roughing the passer call either. I don't think it warranted roughing the passer. That's a linebacker coming free. It almost resembled the 2011 hit with Craig Butler on the Winnipeg quarterback. But more importantly, I think that if you're Winnipeg, you kind of should have there should have been a reaction. Zach's got to see that blitz coming. It's got to get picked up or the ball's got to be out, right? And I didn't agree with the fact that it was a roughing the passer call, but it is what it is. And I think that, in this day and age, receivers and, you saw it in the Labor Day Classic, right? When Zach just basically threw it up to Dembski, right? They got a pass interference call out of that. I don't mind receivers embellishing things in this day and age, right? If the rules are set, the rules are set, right? And if you're able to take advantage of the way the game is being called and the perspective that your refereeing crew is seeing the game from on that given day, by all means, let's have at it, right? The more flags, the better in terms of Rider Nation.
The only thing
unless they go against us, then you're like,
Yeah. Maz and I both disagree with you because we think that is a call. In 2025, that's a roughing the passer call all day long, just because how hard he gets hit. Just like in hockey now, someone gets hit really hard, it's a penalty. In football...
Did you hear what you just said? Because of how hard he was hit.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys? Come on.
I don't agree with it,
listen,
Luc.
This game, go ask.
The Queen of Canada?
Go ask Micah Johnson how he feels about getting double teamed by two big offensive linemen, play in and play out. Go ask Caleb Saunders. Go at like the minute we start being like, oh man, he just hit him too hard. Like that's essentially us also saying, yeah, you know what? You probably shouldn't defend your home if an intruder comes in, right? Like, come on, guys. What are we doing?
I don't agree with it. We don't agree with it, Luke. But we're living in it.
This is a sport. This is a sport that is based on violence. And if I'm an offensive lineman and I don't hit the defensive lineman hard enough, that defensive lineman's not coming off the line of scrimmage. And my running back isn't getting a hole. And then in film, my offensive line coach denies me my second entry to the buffet. That's just how this game works. We can't start saying just because it was a free hit, it should be penalized. You know what I mean? This is a game that's founded, and that's why I disagree with a lot of the things that go. Look, we have a game that is fundamentally rooted in violence. We can't change that, okay? And the minute we start saying, "Oh, that's a little bit too much," we should probably throw the flags on the boys.
Did you? There's a news story going around that they want to change. They think gambling advertising on fields and stuff is a bad thing for youth and all that. It's like, come, let me parent. Don't worry about it. Like,
well, I agree with you on. Totally agree with you on that. I'll do the parenting. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're running up. Look at this. We already killed all our time with you, and you lost your camera. So can we do this again on Friday?
He's back.
Can we
Am I not
back?
No, we got to get to news. Curtis is freaking out over here. We got to give away some KFC.
Let's do it Friday, boys.
Oh,
okay. Just real quick before we go. If Davis Alexander doesn't play on Friday, Luke, because the musical chairs at quarterback.
Yeah.
Riders could be hanging a 45 to a 50 burger because from what I saw last week, and you know this, without a starting quarterback, you're sunk in this league. And if they don't have anybody that's not Davis Alexander, even with all the studs on defense, it could be a good night for Rider Nation against Montreal.
Yeah, well, that defense is getting tired without offensive production, right? The defense is spending too much time on the field. You're right. I think that we have to remind ourselves that the Alouettes, the last time the Riders played them in their own building, by the way, couldn't get past the 45.
Yep.
Flat out. So you're right. I think that they need to run Davis Alexander out there.
Keith Urban concert after, Luke. Maybe I'll pick up some chicken wings and you can come over. We listen to some country music.
Who's Keith Urban?
Come on.
Hey, come on now.
Ask your wife.
Hey, man, look. If it's not Shabuzi and if it's not Garth Brooks, I don't want to hear it.
Shabuzi, boo earns. All right, chicken. I'll bring chicken wings over if I ever get invited from KFC.
All right,
see you,
boys.
buddy. Later. Color commentator Luc Mullinder joining us here on the Western Pizza guest hotline. We got to go to break. We're up against it. It's a Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com. All right, Riders are 10-2. If you missed it, at sportscage.com, the new Sports Cage power rankings are out. And now, after all the votes, the Riders are the top team in the land. There it is right there. Calgary second, Hamilton, Winnipeg, and then Edmonton. Riders take on Montreal here Saturday. How about a little NFL football tonight? Vikings, Chicago Bears, 6:15 kickoff. Vikes are -1.5. 43.5 is the over-under. SJHL preseason tonight in Melfort. Nipawin in town to take on the Mustangs. Kindersley's in Humboldt. The Jays are off after dropping 2 or 3 from the Yankees. They only lead by 2 in the AL East now. They got Houston tomorrow. That's going to be tough. And the SportsCage.com poll today, do you think C.J. Rivas and the Saskatchewan Roughriders deserved a roughing the passer penalty for the hit on Zach Collaros? Vote at sportscage.com. And number 1, it's for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. Maz, a lot of people want the KFC prize pack here. Text messages are burning. A lot of people are like, no, it's not a penalty. No, it's not a penalty. We can all agree to disagree. You and I think it's a penalty. Luke doesn't.
If it was Trevor Harris, we want we like, where's the flag? We want the 15 yards. And I felt last year, because Shea Patterson was a new quarterback, nobody knew him. There were some suspect plays against Shea Patterson, and he never got the call because he didn't have the MO or the profile that a Harris or a Collaros or a more established would get. So now, especially, they're going to call this. And if it wasn't called, O'Shea's throwing the flag on that anyways. It's going to get challenged and looked at.
If that happens, that exact hit on Saturday in Winnipeg to Trevor Harris, we want the culprit taken immediately to the Stony Mountain Institution. Throw away the key. but that's just how it goes. Hour 2 is going to start with the Coach's Show. Joshua Bell will be with us. It is the Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com. Thanks to everyone, Curtis said, who's hitting the like button and subscribe there. Curtis has judged on that, so we always love that. And then we're the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Tuesday is tomorrow. I thought it was a Tuesday edition. A lot of things going on. Bring Maz back in. Maz, text message wise, we're never gonna agree. This is totally life in 2025. We're so divided on people on if it was a penalty or not. Thanks to Holly, she sent in a nice picture farming out there, getting the crop off. If you're just tuning in, it is for Kellen Solar on Monday. Trusted for all solar power needs, whether it's for the farm, the ranch, the livestock operation in Lumsden, Saskatchewan. We are going to be playing Pick the Score throughout the program, 936-6262. If you want to win 2 tickets to the game this weekend, Alouettes in town, 936-62. And you have to give your name and number. What's the score on the weekend? You also have a chance to win a $200 SaskTel gift card. So we're giving away that. And then we're giving away free 6-piece bucket feast and 2 large sides from KFC for text of the day. Tomorrow we got winning. Today we got winning. Things are moving along. I heard, here's this for football fans today. Shout out Regina Rams, by the way, and Regina Thunder and the Saskatoon Hilltops. Great football game. Great weekend for football. The Rams are rolling, undefeated. I heard this on the game last night, Maz, where Buffalo somehow came back and won, which I took Buffalo, so I was happy about that. A gentleman in Vegas had a money line ticket on all the games, hit them all, and it paid somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 G Americano. The last game he had was Baltimore. And Buffalo comes back to win that. If you're at a sports book in Vegas yesterday, the atmosphere would have been off the charts. Like I've always said, way better on an NFL Sunday. For me, go to Vegas instead of a game. Vegas, just watch people lose their minds. It's so intense. How would that be, though? You pick every game, and that's how it ends? I can't hear Maz. I can't hear him.
So what was there, 5 minutes left in the game?
Yes.
And I'm like, well, this is over. There's no way that Buffalo's coming back. I started folding towels. And so I stopped paying attention.
What are you,
so I'm like, if I don't
working at a banquet facility?
Today.
Are you doubling as a junior hockey trainer?
Listen, your kids, much like my kids, live at an all-inclusive resort run by mom and dad, where every whim and need is taken care of, from laundry to electronics to gourmet meals. And so if I am not on my game somewhere, I don't want to get a 4-star Google review when I'm shooting for 5.
There's no way. My kids learned to fold clothes at I want to say that 10 years old. This is on you now. Anywho. But imagine Imagine having Baltimore. Oh. And what's with the fan pushing Lamar Jackson? And then everyone, how does Lamar do that? No. You push a professional athlete. You push someone comes into my place of work and pushes me. I'm probably pushing them back. Sorry. You don't like that?
What if they come into your house? Like Luke? Listen, I think we know what Luke's thoughts are. If you happen to enter Luke's house illegally, you may have a surprise waiting for you without his fancy T-shirt on, and probably a lesson you won't forget. Yeah. So in the first half, Buffalo can't stop anything that Baltimore is doing. But then in the second half, Baltimore collapses, and I think somebody put a graphic up online. Is it John Harbaugh or Jim? John Harbaugh's blown 9 or 11 second half leads to lose football games. Like, they just collapsed. Derrick Henry had 200 and some yards, 2 touchdowns, and they still lost. It's like the Cincinnati game, who had 7 yards in the second half, and they won. And when they had a chance to close out the game, how frustrating. You've got all of that payroll at wide receiver, and you won't even dare throw them a pass to get a first down to try and run out the clock.
Miami coach first to get fired this year? Is that
yes? That's my hot take from the weekend. Mike McDaniel will be the first head coach fired. Like they were already fighting on the bench yesterday in the second quarter of the very first game when they're losing to Danny Dimes.
When I see
it's
that
going to be a long season in Miami.
When I see that guy, I always think it's Mark Anthony, that singer from the 90s. They look like the same guy.
Oh, the one that was married to J-Lo?
Yeah. Miami fans. I don't know how you're doing. I want to there's so many text messages to get to in a bit here. We're going to get to the coaches show, but I wanted to get one. I think it was Jeff in Weyburn. He said, Maz and Bar, I'm not watching the stream. Maz and Barney must be wearing white suits because their takes are hot garbage. Glad Man. Everyone remembers the Glad Man from our era. That was great. Mr. Clean and the Glad Man. Yeah, I think our mums wanted to meet those guys.
I thought he was going to, because since we were talking about KFC, because Colonel Sanders wore a white suit.
He also wore a white suit. 80s.
He wore a white suit.
Popular white suit. Let's get into the coaches show. Are we live? Yes. Are we going? Okay, we'll play the intro later. Technical difficulties here, Joshua. Nothing that we can do on our end. But hey, whatever. We're 10-2. Who needs video? Who needs audio? We're rolling. We look good. I want to ask you, starting in that game, one thing that we talked about in hour 1 too. Ontario Wilson for Winnipeg comes back last week, right? I thought early in the game they're going to him and scheme whatever, whoever's open, give him the ball. Did that maybe catch you off guard as the defensive back, coach, that they were going to the guy that just showed up so much?
Not at all.
Okay.
Ontario Wilson is one of our favorites now. Like, he's a guy, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's 0 to 10 right now. Boom. He's very dangerous, very explosive. And he did some good things for those guys, especially with Dalton Schoen out last year. He did some very good things. So we were expecting him to come in and get some targets. Collaros got another toy to play with. So we were excited because we knew with another dangerous guy on the field, there's more opportunities for us to get the ball.
It looked like Clarcius and Wheatfall, they had a little success here in Regina, but on Saturday, for whatever reason, not a lot there. And you talk about guys, big, skilled, size, strong hands, can do some damage. Was that something that you guys did to shut that down? Because as someone who was just, listening and watching, it was hard to tell, to be like, these guys are really not having an effect at all this afternoon.
Well, Clarcius had some big catches versus preparing for maybe a Justin McInnes type of approach, looking for that dig or that deep ball where they could just throw it up to a guy that could reach it and nobody else could. So we were preparing for that. And Wheatfall he's a dangerous guy. We just think he's a dangerous guy. And for I guess maybe past 4 to 6 weeks, he hadn't impressed us as much as we think about him. And so we were just excited to come in and play against those guys again. But we were looking forward to them maybe standing up and doing a little more than they did the week before.
And I need an honest one here from your coach, Tavon Campbell. Where he is right now, what he's doing for this team, and he has all year. A little bit surprised. Did you think it would take him a little bit longer or to get his feet wet to get back into the Canadian game, or none of this surprises you?
Well, he didn't tackle worth nothing the other day in the game. He missed tackles. He missed about 3 tackles, and he's been exceptional. We've been crowning him the best open field tackler. He's technically sound with his tackling. And then it was Brady. I think it was got a look.
Oh, he was just in the middle of a great clip, and we lost him. We lost the feed. We lost you on the feed.
Am I back?
Joshua, yeah, you're back. It's funny, Joshua,
okay.
Although Tavon Campbell, maybe on your grading out chart, he missed tackles, all I see is him on TSN running back interceptions for touchdowns and all of that. We don't care about tackling, not if you're taking it to the house. That's
he didn't take the coaching. He didn't take the coaching right there. He was instructed this week, if you get the ball, run across the end zone with it. And he didn't get across the end zone with it this week. That was one thing that we're looking for from him. But, I mean, this is a guy that has not only am I able to coach him currently this year, but this was my teammate. This is a guy that I've seen as a rookie coming to the league, and now I see him and I'm like, oh yeah, like yeah, just keep getting the ball, my brother, keep getting the ball. I don't know what his ceiling is because he's still learning, he's still a pro, he's still coming to work every day, and we have some great guys in the room to compete with. And so me knowing Tavon, he's a monster competitor. And he has Agent Zero in the room that he's always looking. They're looking across at each other like, who's the highest guy on the totem pole when it comes to interceptions and plays made? And so those guys are doing a good job of competing internally, and it's showing up with the results in the game.
Joshua, you said that you and him were teammates in his rookie season. Now, that was, you guys were both in Calgary at the same time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at that time, on that Stamps roster, who was teaching you? Who was showing you the ropes for you guys to obviously elevate to the positions you are? Because football is a game of mentorship and passing down knowledge. So who are some of the guys that helped you?
Oh, I learned what we say the Calgary way from Brandon Smith, Fred Bennett, Jamar Wall, Jawan Simpson, Charleston Hughes. These guys were guys that I stepped into I stepped into a defense, Micah Johnson even, right? I stepped into a defense that was already dangerous, and having those guys around, I was able to learn how to win all the way to a Grey Cup in 2014. And so they taught me that championship mentality and that brotherhood. They allowed me to come in and be a part of them. And so that's all we're doing now is what I learned from those guys in 2014, translating that into coaching and being in the room with these guys.
This is a great chance, and we have this coaches show for you guys to somewhat talk to the fans, the armchair quarterbacks, because we see the text messages, we get the calls, all that. So, Coach, what do you say to the fans, Rider Nation, when people are like, why are they playing so much zone? They got to stop playing so much zone. All that. What it's almost every week. It doesn't matter how well you guys are doing. What do you say to them?
Hey, you want to stop the run and you want the ball? You want to win 10 games? I don't want to play as much zone either. Me either. I'm the DD coach. I'd like to play a little bit more man. I love to be able to display a coaching prowess, right? That you can coach it all. But I love winning. I love winning games, and I don't think they ever pass out lowercase W's. And so the recipe has been sprinkle a little of this, sprinkle a little zone, sprinkle a little of this, and it keeps tasting good after the game. So I'm not complaining.
Maz talked about your time in Calgary, and you brought it up, and then before that, you're in the NFL. Like Tavon Campbell, the same thing. What is the biggest challenge for a defensive back, safety, doesn't matter, anybody on that defensive secondary when you're coming from the NFL game to the CFL game?
Oh, that waggle. Can you still be patient and aggressive with a man barreling downhill at your full speed? Can you still have patience in your tempo and trust your 3-step, 5-step read of the quarterback? That's the biggest transition coming back, and the formations. You can get left, right, motion here, motion there, 32 to 23 to 41 to 14, back to a sub, back to a jet sweep. You can get so many variations of the formation. You have to be attentive to what's going on at all times, not just cover my man.
Do you remember the first time someone came at you full speed on a waggle?
It was a different day and age. The first thing I got from Corey Banks, he said, hey, you got to put your hands on him. So that was the first thing that I did. I stood right there and I, boom, caught him at 5 yards, put my hands on him, and then I covered. It's a different world. That's illegal, almost illegal contact now.
Yeah.
But that was our defense back in the day, the old dinosaurs as we played.
So coming up on Saturday, you could face any one of 4 quarterbacks from Montreal, anywhere from Davis Alexander to a Shea Patterson, who was once a Saskatchewan Roughrider. Nobody knows at this point. They have an Austin Mack. They have a Cole Speaker. There's that Philpott kid. He seems to be okay, I guess, if you like good, fast receivers that can make plays anywhere on the field. How much preparation time will go into this week and that Montreal roster? They haven't put up a ton of points lately. They haven't won a lot of games. But if Davis Alexander's back, that Montreal team changes. Their whole profile is different.
Now they are most definitely dangerous with Davis back there slinging that pill now and running around. Now coming off the hamstring, now maybe he's a little hampered by that hamstring, but we're excited to see him full strength because we want to see him running around and thinking he got all the magic and doing everything that he's gonna do. But that receiving core is amazing. We truly believe in even the coaching staff. We believe in what they're building in Montreal. I believe that they're building something good. Coach Machocha and Coach Moss and Noel Thorpe, what those guys are doing out there has been incredible to watch. To play against, to coach against, but also to watch. And so as we get prepared for them this week, I may get 1 or 2 more gray hairs. I may get 1 or 2 more because what Coach Moss does and what those guys do on offense and what they believe in. The biggest thing is they believe in each other and they believe in the coaches. And when you have a team like that, they're always dangerous no matter what the record is.
I want to get into a few kind of just personal, like who you are, like we do with the rest of the coaches here. So I heard you're a very laid back guy, almost Zen-like. Everybody seemed, one thing I heard was, I'm smarter after I talk to him. Okay. So when you seem like a very laid back and all that, how do you get ready for a game as a coach? Do you get revved? Do you get excited? And is there anything like when you played?
The number one thing is having to control that player inside. That's the number one thing because I'm ready to on game day. As soon as you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, it's like, let's go. And so I am I guess I'm Zen. I am Zen at one side, but the other side, I'm flame on. So, I'm always controlling. I'm always looking as a coach to control my emotion for the guys. Mm-hmm. So that way, no matter what goes on, ups or downs, I want to be a calming voice for them. I want to be a grounding piece for them. So when they see me, even if they get bombed for 2 back-to-back 100-yard touchdowns, they can look at me and I could be like, oh, you sucking today. Like, let's get back to the technique. Like, come on now. Put your eyes here. Put your feet there. Like, come on. You covered those 9 balls. You covered that go route 100 times in your life, 1,000 times in your life. I believe you can cover it. You believe you can cover it. Now go back out there and show everybody you can cover it. Like that's what I'm supposed to be for the guys. So I try my best to be as zen as I can to kind of keep them in a game, but allow them to realize that it is a game.
Yeah. That's got to be tough.
It does have to be. It's got to be hard on the sidelines. And I know what it's like as a fan sitting there when we get all fired up and you guys are like right there when it's happening, especially if things aren't going your way. Was that something as a player you had to always, did you police yourself or did somebody police you when it was like, okay, I got to get this thing back on the rails? Because sometimes that's hard, especially if you're the guy that just gave up the 55-yard touchdown.
Well, you know what? It was never really hard as a football player. I think maybe because I'm from the football mecca of football with Texas. So the cliches that we live by, short memory as a defensive back, you got to have amnesia. It's always the next play is my play. So I lived by that. So in game, it was just like, So now as a coach, toward the beginning of my career, toward the end of my career, I had terrible body language, bad body language. Any mistake was going on, I'm like, rolling my eyes. I'm telling my teammates, come on, bro, come on. And so I'm still that same way in game. They even know it. They know what. You know, they know, don't even look at Bell. He rolling his eyes. I can't believe that. Oh, I can't believe you let that happen. Oh, I can't believe you let this happen. Like, because I'm also, even though I'm a coach, I'm probably the biggest fan and cheerleader on the sideline. Because I believe in all of the men's greatness. I believe in the highest form of them of themselves that they can be. So when they don't make a play, I'm like, come on, we made that. You can make that. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, what we waiting on? You know, like, go make a play. So that's usually my intensity, and then it's like, all right, reload. All right, coach, process. So that's just as simple as it is as a football player. The people in the stands, we're saying the same thing you saying on the sideline.
Yeah. Okay, so Dallas or Texas guy, like you said, but then you play for the Broncos, you play for the Packers, win a Super Bowl. Where does your NFL allegiance lie these days?
That's funny. I guess I support my journey. So I'm a big Denver Bronco fan, right? I love Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I also love Cortland Sutherland, who's an SMU guy. Who else is Mims? Mims is a Rockwall guy. So I support those guys. Green Bay, because of the moments, the similarities and how we parallel to Green Bay and Saskatchewan. So I'm still a big fan of the Green Bay Packers. I always stand locked in with them and what they're doing, and because I'm from Dallas, I'm a Cowboy. I mean, I'm not a big fan, like crazy fan, but I'm a Cowboy now. I can't deny it. On Sunday, me and the wife, I said, "Hey, we're not in Dallas. We get to act like Cowboy fans today. So let's get some food. Let's eat. Let's watch the Cowboys."
So Jerry, should Jerry have just kind of figured out a way to make the Micah Parsons deal? Or are you kind of cool with that in Green Bay?
Oh, I can talk about moves now. Okay, this is not us. Yes, I think we'll never know. But I do believe that he made a decision that gave them $50 million in cap space. Yeah. You're always doing good if you're a GM and you say cap room. And then you also let go one of the issues that caused you not to be very good versus the run the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. Because you need to stop the run. Now, you're not going to be able to speed that quarterback up as much as you would. But, and Green Bay saw that on Sunday because them boys were sitting on everything. But I do believe you might have let go of one guy that might have held back some. I think they still got some toys. I saw number 13 or 15 on the edge the other day for Dallas. He was still getting after the quarterback with some good get off. But he's not Micah Parsons, but you can get a guy comparable to that if you want to. Get you another Corvette to drive from that DN spot and let him a little bit, and I think you'll be fine.
Hey, Phil Daniels said, sacks don't matter when you can't stop the run. And very true.
They don't.
Four first round draft picks. He did look good in Green Bay yesterday, but Dallas, after what we saw on Thursday night, and maybe it was a fluke, I think that they may be better than people are giving them credit for. I don't think that they're going to be the free spot on the bingo card this year.
Okay, I want to talk about Coach Daniels because he's got a Super Bowl ring and you got a Super Bowl ring. When's the last time you wore yours?
I don't wear Super Bowl rings.
Have you seen his?
I don't know if I haven't. I don't know if I've worn a Grey Cup ring beyond the Grey Cup celebrations.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever worn a ring beyond just like, oh, we got the ring. Yes.
See, I thought you guys would compare
and then you give them away.
You know, like Andrew Harris could put 4 on and be like, "This is how mine all look," and you can have your There's a lot of champions in that room. That's the other thing that people don't.
It is.
Yeah, Coach, we've taken up so much of your time here. This has been awesome. I gotta say, I thought this was going to be really laid back, and it was going to be, you're awesome. I want to play for you. If you ever coach anything.
Well, I want to. Well, see, I thought we were gonna get some more time. I thought they said I had an hour.
Oh.
Usually the guys have to walk out on me when we're going over film. I'm always over.
I'm sure you got lots of tape to watch.
When do I get to come back? That's my question. When do I get to come back?
I want you to come in studio. That's what we got next time.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Good luck. Good luck this weekend against Montreal. Everyone's gonna be watching you on the sideline now. This body language thing you were talking about. It's gonna be the focal point, and then we can reconvene the next time. How about that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm gonna put on my best presentation. I'm gonna put on my representative.
Joshua Bell ISOCAM next time on the Sports Cage. Yes. Body language 101. Things are going well. Things aren't going well.
Right on. Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach. Have a good week. Go get them.
Love. I appreciate you guys for having me on. Can't wait to be back.
Thank you so much. Oh, what a riot. Every Monday, it's a highlight. The Roughriders Coaches Show here, brought to you by Regina Steelcraft Doors and the Rough Rider Foundation 50/50.
One of the things we're finding with the Coaches Show, especially with Mason the past couple of years and the coaching staff he's assembled, you can see why the team has a little bit of personality and swagger when you get to meet some of the coaches, because they have that as well. Football can be a very X and O thing with some very gruff or non-personality individuals or whatever, but that is 100% the opposite.
Not one this year. Not one this year has been in the biz a tough interview. It's just these guys are awesome. No wonder everyone wants to play for them, and they're all in that room. And like he said, there's lots of competition within that room with coaches and the players, so much more. Again, you can go back if you missed it, listen to it in podcast form as well. That was a riot. We're up against the clock here. We got to take a break. It is a Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com. We're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. This one is so easy for me. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Even as a Patriots fan, I've come to respect them. And what they did last night, down 40-25, 4:05 left in the fourth. That was what a way to come out of Sunday Night Football Week 1. Tonight we got Monday night. But my clutch performer, Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Naz?
I think a lot of people like the Buffalo Bills and hope that they can do something with it and not waste another year of his career. If you're ever going to win a Super Bowl, do it now. Everybody's kind of on your side. Everybody's okay with it. Mahomes has won. My clutch performer, and I didn't notice this till later, but somebody posted it online, that there was some ruthless TV executive, I think it was at Fox, not only after the Cleveland Brown game when they lost by a point to Cincinnati, they went to bonus coverage to watch Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, former quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, beat the Atlanta Falcons, which was kind of crazy. Just Baker, and I think all it was just like the facepalm, another quarterback mistake by the Cleveland Browns.
Clutch performer for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator Gleaner, and Fent dealer. And we are getting a lot of harvest pictures in on the text line. Maz, I don't know if you got the text line in front of you there as well, but we got to get to some of these. The YouTube channel, Curtis, do you want to handle this? If you want to text on the YouTube channel, I don't even know how, Curtis, you are going to give away this free 6-piece bucket from KFC. But this Jeffrey guy, who I absolutely think is a dude. He's from Calgary. He's a big Stamps performer, but he just loves coming onto the YouTube channel and he stirs the pot, and he's got a whole little thread here going. So if anyone out there wants to just get really chirpy and get into a little bit of a text battle on the YouTube channel, Jeffrey's all game. He loves to go. He's basically saying that Calgary is the reason that the Riders are good now, because we have all their talent. So Steve's sticking up for the Riders. Crofty wants Bell on every week, and he wants to drink beer with him. So yeah, it's going crazy there. And then on the other text line, some people are saying that Zach shouldn't be allowed to play football again. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, if he's medically cleared, it's his decision. Now, if he never gets medically cleared, that's another story. But it's up to him. And you heard Milt Stegall say that he shouldn't ever play another snap of football. There's been enough red flags. Just go enjoy life. He said you got a nice wife, 2 young kids. Seems like a great guy. I think he'd be a great advocate for the league. Like him offering, if he wanted to, like color or insight on what he's seeing because he's relevant and current. Yeah, that was hard. It was always one of those where it would be. Now, if that was it was against the Riders. It was a Banjo Bowl. It wasn't some like nothing game against somebody somewhere. Like it just, I don't know. But I was really surprised. Take the injury out. The Bombers showed no emotional response after that. Because I'd have to think, like, if it's the Riders or anybody, you're going to come out to be like, no, we're playing for Zach. Like, we got to even this up for our quarterback. Calgary missed the playoffs last year.
Steve,
listen, if
Steve is leading the charge for Rider fans on that chirping battle with Jeffrey. He's the Wallace guy, whatever movie that's from. He's leading the charge.
Well, I don't disagree, but every football in any sport, you're going to steal from the coaching tree. And the coaching tree that Mace has built now, do you think if the Riders win the Grey Cup this year, do you think guys like Joshua Bell and Mueller and all that, they're not going to be looked at, Phil Downey's not going to be looked at for bigger opportunities because now they all came from the coaching for the Huffnagel tree and then Dickinson, and then Mace is building his own tree. It's always going to trickle down. And with success, everybody will get rated or be given an opportunity.
I want Coach Joshua Bell, a head coach in the CFL at some point, just so we can watch him on the sideline all the time. Energy. Let's go. Like you said, the ISO cam. That guy's an absolute beauty. When can I come back?
Heard it.
There's 2 chairs right here. Come anytime. Drinks,
I don't know.
whatever you need.
Have we ever had a guest say that they want to come back? We just pester them. Hey, do you want to come back on? And they're like, But look at the pedigree. He learned how to win in Calgary, like he had said, from all of those dudes like Charleston Hughes when they were really good, and he's brought that along with him. And that's the thing, Rider Nation. Hey, listen, this is great. We're 10-2. Like, life couldn't be better. You couldn't have drawn this up on the whiteboard any better.
Yeah, we beat Calgary.
With success.
We beat Calgary. That's how it's better. I wouldn't have mind losing to Ottawa. Or
Farhan was pretty direct on Friday, talking about until we beat the Stamps, like he is not sold on the Saskatchewan Roughriders being the best team in the CFL.
See, there's so many text messages that people aren't leaving their names, so it's hard to get through. And there are some good ones. Somebody's basically calling us absolute pigeons, which we are. We're talking crap. Our takes. This is Joseph and Regina. My take on the hit: it shouldn't have been a penalty because he made contact already simultaneously with Zach's shoulder first, and then hit the helmet to helmet. I think when you break it, and it's so many of you are saying that on there, and I agree. I just where the game is in this day and age, they are going to call that. Do I agree with it? No, but they're going to call it. The Buck Pierce one. Do you have that? If you're watching the stream, because I know a lot of you are right now. If you forget this one, Curtis is working quickly here. Who hits Buck Pierce again from the Riders?
Craig Butler. Craig Butler.
Like, look at this. Ouch.
Just
Labatt
folds
Blue
him.
Pilsner, hit of the game. Does anyone drink Labatt Blue anymore? Yeah.
Can you even buy Labatt Blue? I had to go buy my wife some beer the other day. It's a rough first week of school. When you get the text, can you stop at the liquor store?
The 7.5% stuff?
No, I think, what did I get her? An 8-pack of Bud Light she wanted? I don't know.
Get her a 40 ounce?
Like you
sit on the stoop.
Drink her. No, she's off the wine. She's into beer these days. But yeah, rough first week of school. Hey, teachers, we're with you. Parents, we're pitted in. Like just getting this new routine, just trying to remember where 3 different kids in 3 different schools need to be and all the stuff that goes with it. Oof.
I'm going to forget some. I've got 2 different schools going this year now. I'm waiting to either sleep in or do something stupid. Mark, here's one from Mark. The best 2 things that happened in the game was Brett Lauther's 15 points. Thanks, Corey Mace, for not giving up on him. Watching the Blue Bomber fans leaving before the game ended and the Rider fans waving goodbye to them. LOL. Was anyone there? Someone texted in that was at the game. I can't remember. Benny in Winnipeg. I don't even know if Benny's in Winnipeg anymore, though. I think he might be here. Zach Collaros has a phenomenal wife. She was in my hot yoga class in Winnipeg. How to hang him up before he becomes a vegetable. Rider fans saying this is a clean hit are the same cowards that would call it dirty on Trevor. Clowns. Benny from Winnipeg. Not a bad text, Benny.
If it was on Harris, we'd all be screaming for a 15-yarder.
Benny could be in the running for some KFC here for text of the day. Little free 6-piece bucket feast. Don't forget on game days, End Zone Big Crunch, only $4.95. Big Crunch combo, $7.95. So that's Saturday. Have yourself some KFC, go to the football game, and then Keith Urban. See how everything settles down later. No, now people are messaging in about beer. Now we can't go down there. We don't have a beer sponsor yet. We want one. But let's not.
Why?
Let's not go down there. Let's take. We got. Here we go. Big beer show here.
Crofty. She drank it all. I got the tag because she's like, we're out. Got to go get more.
Your wife drinks beer, like that much beer?
No, just because we had some. Like there was a couple cans in the fridge, but I'm like, well, there's got to be wine in the cupboard or something. And
does she smoke?
Absolutely nothing. So.
Does she smoke when she drinks beer? No? Okay.
No.
Let's get to more of these text messages. Let's go to a break. It's the Sports Cage.
No social media either. No, not on social media either. Nothing.
And you guys still have a house phone. It's the Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com or on 620 CKRM. SportsCage.com power rankings. How things change over a week. Everybody voted, and now the Riders. Top team there. Stamps move down. Hamilton moves up to 3. Winnipeg 4, and then the Edmonton Elks. Hey? That's at sportscage.com if you want to check it out. Montreal's here Saturday. We'll have more on injuries and the team tomorrow as they're back at practice. How about a little NFL tonight? Monday Night Football, first one of the year. Minnesota, Chicago. Vikes -1.5. 43.5 is the over-under there. Little SJHL preseason hockey tonight. Nipawin's, the City of Northern Lights, taking on Melfort 7:30. Kindersley's at the Elgar Peterson Arena in Humboldt. Jays are off tomorrow after dropping 2 or 3 from the Yanks. Their lead is cut to 2 in the AL East. They're playing Houston tomorrow. SportsCage.com poll today. Do you think CJ Rivas from the Saskatchewan Roughriders deserves a roughing the passer penalty on Zach Collaros? A lot of you are already getting to that. You might as well go vote at sportscage.com. In hour 2, it is for Extreme Hockey and Sport, where Bauer Flylight event is coming up this Saturday, September 13th. Regina Pat C players on hand. Bauer reps, shooting lanes, win custom skates, lots of giveaways, and your chance to win your purchase back all of September, where they have the price match guarantee, the local sporting goods store, Extreme Hockey and Sport in Regina. Okay, Maz. I can't even keep up reading the text messages. Going back to things, though, when we talked to Luke earlier and we heard from Coach Mace and his post-game thing, how, and even Coach Bell, go back and listen to him in podcast for sure if you missed that one. The coaching game, and that's something that us casual fans didn't probably, we obviously didn't see it. We didn't sense how much of a coaching chess smash the last 2 weeks were.
I thought in the Labor Day Classic, there were more instances where if the Riders made a strong move or a smart move, the Bombers didn't, where it seemed like on Saturday, kind of everything was in check. Now, was O'Shea going to march his field goal kicker out if they were anywhere between 40 to 55 yards? Yeah, but that wasn't new. That was all year. Them missing, that's the other thing too, because you were playing for. There was no situation where a punt was going to happen, but the coaching, the one coaching play, because the Collaros interception, that's on Zach and all of that. But the coaching play, which I think was the dagger in the fourth quarter, 1 yard line, and they throw the double move to Robustelli. That was a killer. That, although the game was still close, that kind of put the pin in the Bomber balloon, and you could just tell it took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah,
because you've got them trapped on the one.
Yeah,
if they
I love that
play
call.
Man coverage,
Love.
and you hold them there. Get the punt, get the ball. You're probably going to get good field position. You're probably going to kick a field goal. You can go up by a point. That there was the dagger. Outside of Zach being out, and we talked about Strevler and just uncomfortable, and they didn't really give him a lot to work with.
Yeah.
So,
love that call. And then as we go to break, shout out Kim in Kelowna. I don't know if listening on the stream or watching. Molson XXX, 7.3%. Tried doing grade 10 math at age 50. Yikes. And I was good at math. Kim from Kelowna. I remember that. It was a black label. Kim, I've been there. Darian Durant is coming up to start hour 3. What a show. It's been so much fun. Thanks everyone for participating. We'll be back in a few minutes after news. It's the Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Hour 3 of the Cage on this Monday for Kellen Solar. Thanks for making time. Maz is with me, and Curtis is in the pocket over there. All of our guests are joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. It's always a perfect night for Western Pizza or any of the Greek favorites you love from Western. And keep the engagement coming on the Prairie Land Rentals text line at 936-6262. It has been hot and heavy on there. And then, like I said, on the YouTube chat, Jeffrey and Steven are now they're kind of getting along. They were battling, but they're fighting there as well, because Jeffrey's a Stamps fan thing, and the success the Riders are having is because of the Stamps. We did pluck a few guys. That's what happens, though. You steal good employees. Good companies steal good employees. Other companies don't give a rip about their employees. It's how the world spins around. Darian Durant's going to be coming up here momentarily. Shout out Regina Rams. And any of you that went to the game, as you and Sharky did the show from Libel on Friday, 47-23 over the Alberta Golden Bears. Marshall Erickson, who we had on the show last week, Christian Contende, they combined for 283 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was the first time in school history that multiple running backs rushed for more than 100 yards each. They make the trek to the left coast, take on UBC this weekend. The Hilltops won 18-15 over the Thunder. Both teams are 3-1, over 2,000 fans at Mosaic Stadium. That was a good one as well. We're playing SaskTel. Pick the score, 936-6262. What's the score? Owls and Riders coming up Saturday, right before Keith Urban. Keith Urban.
Have you seen the set list?
Yeah.
Keith, come on.
What he's playing.
There's too much new stuff. There's too much new stuff in there.
That guy.
Let me pull it up.
It's like Jason Aldean, Kenny Chesney, any of the. There's too many. You can't pluck them. He's got to go with what's
there's
hot.
Too much. The Aldean set list at Craven.
He plays blue jeans at the end. That's old school.
But the Aldean set list at Craven was killer top to bottom, even with the few new songs like Whiskey Drink that they put in there. Other than that, it was 21 hits.
It's so subjective,
I'm pulling
man.
this up
It's subjective. Can we talk about this after Darian? Because he's on a Wi-Fi plan. We only get so many times. Yeah. SaskTel, pick the score, 936-6262. You get a chance to win a SaskTel gift card worth $200 too. Curtis will pick the winner there. Curtis is also picking the winner of Text of the Day, a free 6-piece bucket feast. 6-piece of chicken from KFC and 2 large sides, which we found out in hour 1. Luc Mullinder likes his wings from KFC. So keep the text messages coming. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner, whatever you need to rent for that late summer, fall job. And they also got Husqvarna Days coming up here. Snowblower season is around the corner. Let's get into it with Darian.
It's time for Double Talk with Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Darian Durant. Double Talk is brought to you by Campbell Safety Consulting. At Campbell Safety Consulting, we work towards helping companies create a competitive edge by executing a proactive health and safety program.
I wonder what the fine folks at Campbell Safety Consulting would say to Zach Collaros on this Monday. Would they say, let's really think long and hard about maybe playing anymore? Darian, the floor is yours. Talk about the hit and what advice maybe you would give to Mr. Collaros.
Absolutely. First and foremost, the hit, I see mixed feelings about it. Some say dirty, some say not. I think that's just football. It's unfortunately, this happened to Zach, but when you're aiming for the shoulder or the chest area sometimes, then you're going to get a part of the helmet. So I don't see any foul play there. I don't see anything dirty. It's just a part of the game. And it's just unfortunate for Zach. He's had a ton of these injuries, and I'm speaking in football terms. Whenever you have more than 2 concussions, I say a ton. He's just been through this time and time again. It just hurt my heart to see him laying there on the turf and not really moving. And, like I said, I just think this has happened too many times for Zach. So if I'm him or if I'm in his corner, I'd definitely be encouraging him to think really hard about stepping out there on the field again.
In 2025, Darian, where we are right now in the CFL game, though, is that a flag?
I mean, it is. I guess when any part of the defender's helmet makes contact with the quarterback's helmet, then it's a penalty. I get that. But, when you're running full speed and you're just trying to make a play and you're trying to aim, at the chest area, then there'll be a piece of the helmet that contacts the quarterback's helmet. So I don't see this as an intentional targeting or something where he intentionally went helmet to helmet.
I thought it's not dirty. It's unfortunate. Like you said, it's a football play. When you were playing, if this was 2013, you would have had to pick yourself up off the carpet. There would be no call, but the world has changed. It's different. But what you just said, 10 years ago, Rider fan me that was nuts and thought of things differently. It kind of hurt to see him laying there. If we want to win, I want to beat the best guys, the best competition, not because of an injury or anything like that. That's what probably got me. And Darian, you had a lot of teammates. I was surprised at the lack of emotional response from the Bombers. I would have thought maybe, because when I watched the end of the Edmonton-Calgary game, they were fighting at center field on a game that was 13 points difference. It wasn't even close, and guys were getting into it. I'm like, where was that from the Bombers in the Rider game after your star quarterback's laying on the ground?
And you know what? I in order to take up for the Bombers, I just have to think that they've seen this too many times. And I think there's more concern or more like feeling for his life, his health, what's to come for him in his life, concern more so than, being in the heat of the moment and ready to take up for him or something like that. I just don't think that's an attitude. I think it's more fear coming from, you could just hear the silence in the stadium. You can see the guy, the look of concern. No, they didn't jump up and want to take up for Zach, but I just think they're just more concerned about the person, and they've just seen this too many times.
What a play call, though. And we had somebody on the text line message in, because we do have a lot of smart listeners here, saying that they started with 6 O-line, then they kind of game planned. They kind of went down to 5, which, game plan the other way, that exposes. And he came shot out of a cannon there. So the gameplay, the coaching, and that's the thing when we talked to Luke in hour 1, Darian, and then Coach Joshua Bell, who's an absolute beauty, by the way. It's just coaching was so key these last 2 weeks, and it's something that us casual fans don't really, fathom or get.
Absolutely. When you play a back-to-back, you can't just let out every single play that you have. You have to hold some things back. You have to know that there's game 2, and you hope, that home field kind of comes into play, especially for the Riders having the Labor Day Classic at home. If you're able to get that one, then you can kind of empty the clip a little bit, so to speak, in the Banjo Bowl. And you can just see the disguises that Coach Mace had for Zach. He confused him. I'm not sure if I've ever seen Zach look this confused and make this many mistakes in consecutive games like he has this year. And, part of me believes that it may be, the head injuries catching up to him, or age, or whatever the case may be. But this just doesn't seem like the same Zach Collaros, especially with all the turnovers that he's having.
Did you think once they brought Chris Streveler in the game, they had the handcuffs on him way too tight for him to even try to do anything? Because it didn't seem like there was much there. Not that he was completing it, but it didn't look inventive at all.
Well, I mean, you're still in a tight game at the time, and you don't, we've seen over time, and I hate to speak on my fellow quarterbacks like this, but he's just really not the most accurate guy, right? So they don't want to put him in dangerous situations. You want to kind of lead on Brady Oliveira a little bit to help out Strev and put yourself in second and short situations. But the handcuffs are on him because, he may be a little bit limited in his ability to throw the ball downfield. And, he's started a good amount of games now. We have a great sample size of the type of quarterback he is. And, I just don't think at this stage he can develop into one where coaches trust him throwing the ball downfield, consistently.
From our Riders, are we maybe underplaying the importance here? And I think I would be guilty of that early in the season, hand up, fully, egg on my face, on what Tommy Stevens is bringing to this team, not only with the short yardage and what he can do as a massive man, good job, Curtis, but also, his ability to go in late in the game and kind of run that RPO or whatever, they see fit.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically an extra running back in the backfield. Especially in late game situations, you need to run out the clock. Now you can use Oled and the other running backs as lead blockers or guys that can, lead the way for Stevens. And, it's just, I think I said it, before the season started, like, this is a huge move, especially for its goal line situations. The Riders had tons of problems last year putting the ball in the end zone when they got down into the red zone area. So bringing in Stevens, touchdowns, and that's the difference in a game. Sometimes you get a touchdown or you get a field goal, and the Riders lost those games last year where they got field goals. So getting touchdowns and getting first downs converted late in games is definitely paying off, because we've won those games where he's come in and had to close.
A couple of weeks ago when you were on, you had said one of the reasons why BC's defense is so terrible is because Mike Benevides' defense is very complicated and you need some time in it, and that BC may just not have the players. We saw an epic meltdown against Ottawa last week, and all of a sudden the Ottawa Red Blacks are now in the conversation because the BC Lions choked away another game. Was that... It was a little tough to watch, and I'm not a Lions fan, but I'm like, are you guys kidding me? You're gonna blow this one too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this many blown coverages by Mike Benevides and Ryan Phillips led defense. I mean, like I said, the guys just don't have enough chemistry, don't have enough time together. And I mean, look, I think you're seeing a lack of tackling ability as well with this BC defense. I mean, when you get into training camp, you can't tackle, you can't really put on pads and scrimmage and doing these things. And if you're a really physical team by nature, then you're going to have problems when the season starts. So, I think it's just a mixture of just young guys that are not very physical. And, like I said, you just don't see this much from a Mike Benevides run defense.
What are you making of Calgary losing to Edmonton?
What I'll take from that is Edmonton may just be on fire right now. I mean, besides Saskatchewan, even though they've lost, they may be the second toughest team behind the third toughest team behind Calgary and Saskatchewan. Just ever since Cody has came into the lineup, he's just given this team life. You just sense it in the energy. I listened to the post-game speech that they had, and just the energy in that locker room. Guys really, really love playing for Cody and for Edmonton at the moment. And look, they're not going to be an easy team to beat. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the playoffs come the end of the season.
Darian, I thought after the Stamps beat the Riders, that was obviously was number one on the list. The past couple of games have been a letdown. Yep, they won on Labor Day. VA did just enough. He didn't have a great game. And then on Saturday, not another great game, although Hutchins was out, and it's amazing. With Hutchins out of that Stampeder defense, what a difference. Although the Eskimos were missing 4 starters from their defense, and that Joel DeBlanco guy just decided to blow up the CFL on Saturday night. But VA, and you're a quarterback, you go through your ups and downs. It's not always going to be 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Did you like VA being pulled at the end of the game by Dave Dickinson to let him watch those last couple minutes and maybe give him a little time off?
You know what? I'm never a fan of being pulled. I think you should allow a quarterback to work through most of the tough times when they have them. So I'm never a fan of that. But at the same time, I think when you're going into a tough environment and you have a back-to-back with the team you just played, and even the first game was a dogfight, I think you have to lean on a run game a little bit more. And I think you saw Edmonton do that with Rankin. 16 carries for over 200 yards. You know what? They decided, let's see if Calgary can be physical consistently. And I think that Dave Dickinson should have went into that game with the same game plan with Mills and, not make Vernon go out and have to beat you through the air, but use that run game and maybe play action a little bit to take some pressure off of Vernon Adams. So, I didn't like the game plan. Vernon had, I think, 30 attempts, and I would have loved to see that run game come in and be, something that you try to establish early on.
Let's circle back to the Riders here and what's coming up. And as a quarterback, and if you put yourself, Darian, in an opposing team quarterback shoes right now coming into the Riders, Tavon Campbell and what he's doing, basically the whole secondary, are they in your kitchen a bit? Are you putting in, if it's possible, extra work to figure out, okay, what's going on? How are these guys getting their hands on so many balls here?
Yeah, you have to. And I think, especially speaking on Tavon coming from the NFL, I mean, the God-given athletic ability and speed that he has already, and then he went down south and was able to learn at the NFL level. So coming back, you can just tell that the game is easy for him. He's reading patterns. He knows when to come off of his man and try to make a play. He's being smart, and sometimes he's gambled and it's cost him, but he has the makeup speed to make up for any time he may gamble. So, a guy who's that gifted can just go out there and make plays, and you add the mental capacity with it. It just takes him to another level.
I love Chris Strevler. Just as a guy, Mazio and I talked about in hour one with that one video, if you're watching the stream that Curtis just ran, he looks so disgruntled, like he just went into Part Source and they didn't have the right oil filter for his 68 Cordoba. Like, look, this poor guy is just trying to do everything. He just doesn't have it.
So Darian, the first time that the Riders played Montreal in Montreal, no Davis Alexander, there were a bunch of other injuries. The Alouettes are getting healthy, and they may have Davis Alexander, which completely changes the dynamic of that team. We all know no starting quarterback, you don't have a chance to win. We saw that against, when the other night, when, it was tough to watch Montreal. They got a lot of talent. They just don't have a quarterback. If there's no Davis Alexander, I think the Riders put up 45 points because the defense is going to tire out. But if they're doing this and you're Jason Moss and Davis Alexander's back in, what's your game plan against the Riders? Is it short game? Is it intermediary? Like pray. Because you got to try and do something.
Yeah, I just think you have to to play to Davis's strengths, and that's pushing the ball downfield. He has a big arm. He loves to push the ball down the field, and Montreal has the playmakers to make plays down the field. So, look, Montreal's fighting for a playoff position. They're fighting for their playoff lives as well. So they have to treat every game moving forward as pretty much a must-win situation. So you can't come in and be conservative and hold things back. You have to let it loose. But if they don't have Davis Alexander, it'll get ugly. And I just hope Saskatchewan, I'm not hoping, I know Coach Mace won't have a letdown, and he'll make sure the guys are ready to play, because, in the upcoming weeks, they can really sew up the West. And I think that's something he'll have them locked in on.
We met Joshua Bell in hour 2, Coach Bell. Ooh, that guy is intense. All these coaches are just, they're so awesome. Okay, let's make this real and prove to people that Darian is a regular human being, just like us. You left your phone in an Uber or a taxi. What was it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yep. So I had on some sweatpants, of course, and I had my. Yep, and I had my kid's iPad, so I was kind of playing on that as well, and not even thinking about my phone. So I get out of the Uber and get in the house, tapping my pants, looking around, can't find my phone anywhere. So luckily, my wife, whenever I'm in the Uber, I always I share all the information with her. So we were able to contact the Uber driver, and I was able to get my phone back the next day. So crazy experience there.
That's the game planning of a quarterback. Send your wife the information, right? Just little things that we don't do. Although, always dropping things out of my sweatpants too. Okay, now here's the question I was going to ask you last week because we couldn't get you on. There was a lot being made of when Trevor Harris punted on 3rd down. I don't remember you doing that. Did you ever do that in the CFL?
Never did it in the CFL, but I did it in college, and it was a negative punt. So practice all week was pinning, putting the ball inside the 10 all week. Get in the game, coach calls the surprise punt. Now I'm super nervous, right? Super nervous. Catch the ball. I feel like my technique is perfect. Ball goes backwards, sideways and backwards, man. It was crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Speaking of college, Darian, and I don't know, like in your North Carolina, be honest, that first Belichick game, that was tough to watch. I don't know, maybe if you folded up your jersey and tucked it away in a drawer, closed it, and just be like, I'm just going to switch the channel here. That was not good football.
No, we started off so hot, man. We went down, opening possession, went up 7-0, and I was just excited. Like, here we go. This is the turnaround that we needed with Coach Belichick, and then things just went downhill and just came right back to earth. But we have to realize that it's just a work in progress. It's going to take time. He needs the players, and it just takes time to get those recruits in.
It's kind of like Michael Jordan and all the celebrities that were up in the box. They thought the same thing. They're like, "Oh, we are looking good." And by fourth quarter, they weren't even there anymore. Yeah. How about the Cowboys, though? Surprise?
Yeah.
Surprise a little bit.
They look good.
In week they could have won that football game.
I was. I mean, I figured they would have to take the Cincinnati Bengals approach with the high-powered offense and just go for a shootout every game. And, they came out firing, and Dak played well. Of course, CeeDee Lamb with the butterfingers late in the game. But, as a whole, to hold Philly to 24 points, I think, on opening night on the road, the defending Super Bowl champs, I think that's a win if you're in the moral victories.
And we've talked.
That's a small W, or that's a small W.
We've talked about your bookie that I want to meet down there all the time. I wonder last night if he was spending all that Buffalo Bills money that he made, and then that comeback. Isn't that a nice way to start Sunday night football?
I know. That's amazing, man. If this is any indication of what's to come this year, I'm excited. I mean, I'm sure everyone, especially every man around the world, is so happy for September to come when football season comes. So if this is any preview, it's going to be a good one.
I know, and ladies out there that like NFL. I know I'm going to get some text. Like, what about my Bengals? All right.
Of course.
We wait and see what happens this weekend, and then we'll regroup again on Monday.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Right on. Double Talk with Darian Durant. Brought to you by Campbell Safety Consulting. Does your workplace have the proper safety program in place? If not, you can call Campbell Safety Consulting. The pros there. Yeah, some good insight from Darian. When's the last time you left your phone in a cab or Uber?
I don't know that I have. I want to know, what was he doing with his daughter's iPad? Because the fact that you could get an iPad away from one of your kids in 2025 is amazing. It's not like they don't always have them.
I'm trying to think the last time I did it, and I don't remember, but it's like just one of the most stressful times of your life. The taxi. Vegas, that's where it was. Vegas taxi. But I left it in the hotel room, not in the taxi. And then, because then you're trying to call, it's like, what outfit was that? And there's like 76 cab companies in Vegas. And it's like, Uber, for sure, the easier way to go, because at least you can track it.
I still remember we were in Vegas. We went and saw Def Leppard at, I think it's Mandalay Bay. And my cousin Derek left his wallet in a cab. And the cabbie turned it in. There was $4 in it. It's not, I paid for a lot of the trip at Harrah's at the front desk, but it was there in a Ziploc bag at the Lost and Found, amazingly enough. The guy didn't need the hassle probably, but he brought it back and he turned it in. I was like, that was incredible. What are the chances you could re-find your wallet after losing it in Vegas in a cab? Different time. It's a different world.
Did he give him the $4?
Different. Well, no, it was at the front desk because we went down just on a lark to be like, do you guys have a Lost and Found? And they're like, yeah. And we're like, we left a wallet in a cab, maybe. And they came over and, yep. He identified it because he said he had $4, four $1 bills in it.
Canadian.
And this is only, no, it was American. But this is, okay, so this was day 2 of a 4-day trip. And I just realized, I'm like, I'm going to be having to bankroll the rest of this if he's got $4 left.
If he was walking around with $4, you were pot committed to bankroll it regardless, man.
Because he wasn't a credit card guy. His credit score and Capital One maybe weren't getting along at that time. So it was not like he had a plastic backup.
You went on a trip to Vegas with a guy that doesn't have a credit card. Not a good thing. And $4. Okay, we're going to take a break, Curtis is saying. It's a Sports Cage. Coming up, let's talk a little bit about this Connor McDavid thing and Edmonton fans, which were celebrating their big win. Not a good clip the other day. It's the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com. Getting set for Monday Night Football. The countdown is on. Minnesota, Chicago, 6:15 kickoff. The Vikes 1.5 favorites in this one. 43.5 is the over-under. As for the Riders, back on the practice field tomorrow. Power rankings from sportscage.com came out. All the votes are in. Riders are now top of the power rankings. Calgary goes down to 2. Hamilton, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Toronto, BC, Ottawa, and then Montreal, who is here on Saturday. Like I said, little SJHL preseason tonight. Nipawin's in Melfort. Kindersley travels into Humboldt. Jays are off after dropping 2 of 3 from the Yankees. Slim lead in the AL East, just down to 2. They're in Houston tomorrow. SportsCage.com poll today. Do you think CJ Rivas of the Saskatchewan Roughriders deserved a roughing the passer penalty on his hit on Zach Collaros? Vote at SportsCage.com. And don't forget, high school football, another week is here. We want to hear about your team. Let us know if there's anything we need to know about. 6-a-side, 9-a-side, or 12-a-side, doesn't matter. Email us at hi@sportscage.com. In hour 3, it's for Regina Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada, for Western Canada, Regina Steelcraft Doors. Hey, Maz, the one thing I wanted to mention, I bet you didn't know this. Last week I found out late. Let me just pull it up here. Is really good idea. Saskatoon and Regina, the big schools playing against each other in high school football. So next year they're coming to Regina this Friday. This year they went up and played at Gordie Howe Bowl, also now known as Saskatoon Minor Football Field. It was Leboldus losing to Saskatoon Centennial 20-14. Riffle laid an old-fashioned NOD beating on Saskatoon Bethlehem 48-7. And then St. Joseph's got by Miller, which this was the one a lot of people were watching that I heard. St. Joe's 37, Miller 25. That would have been a really good football game, 7:30 p.m. So Friday night lights are high school football reports coming up Thursday this week as we tee some things up, 6 aside, 9 aside, hopefully talk to another coach or player this week. It's all brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan's side. Curtis was asking me what my favorite part of the show was today. That's tough. Luc was good. Found out about Luc. Lots of text messages, people sliding in. It was great. And then Joshua Bell, coach's show. That was podcast. That's worth a listen. And then Darian Durant. I don't know. It's tough. Lots of wallet texts coming in now too. People telling us their wallet story. Terry in Montana. Wallet fell out of my pants at a bus station. Brisbane, Australia. Figured it out in the car. Ran back inside. Was under the bench. He goes into some explicits there. But yeah, Terry in Montana. Lost his wallet in Brisbane. And there's somebody on the YouTube channel too. Also, Jeffrey's saying, isn't Regina the sweatpant capital of Canada? We were. I don't know if we still are. I hope we are. Anyway, it's the reason why I go sweatpants 3-4 days a week.
Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
Jeffy.
Okay, so back on Friday, Sharky and I got into this, and he offered a little bit of a different perspective that maybe I didn't have.
Okay.
So with the McDavid thing, I was like, Connor, you either want to get paid or you want to win, because the math in the NHL proves that you can't do both. If you have one or two players making a crazy amount of money, it never seems to translate to you winning the Stanley Cup. So I was like, if winning's that important, like you sat between Reinhart and Sid. Reinhart's got 2 cups, team guy, Florida, dude's taking deals. They want to win, team guy. Sid scores the golden goal, will be remembered forever in hockey history. Got paid $0 because it's the Olympics. Just wants to win, especially at this stage of his career. But Connor's kind of got this, well, I am the best player, which I should be paid for. We totally get it. But I also want to win. I don't have any cups.
Can we play the clip?
Sure.
Let's play this. This is the clip here.
A shorter-term deal, though, does financially, but for a lot of reasons, seems to make sense. We've seen other guys do it. The NHL obviously reduced the length now down to 7 moving forward. Is a shorter-term deal, whether it's 2, 3, 4, does that make more sense because it gives you more options?
I said all options are on the table, and that would mean length of term, short-term, long-term. Yeah, no term. It's all options are on the table, as I alluded to, and so that would include a short-term deal. Yeah.
Speaking of body language, Joshua Bell.
If you're
there's no vibes you're picking up like he's signing. So my point was, Connor, let's say you won't play for free. We get it. What if you took $5 million for a year? So all of that money could be used to make a stacked team, go roll, get your cup, and then blow town. But when he's like, got to talk to my wife and the agent, you already play in Edmonton. It sounds like you're trying to make it like you would have to move to Edmonton. You're already there. You've been there for 9 years.
But maybe, what's her name, Lauren? Lauren?
Sure.
Is that his wife? And he has a dog?
Lifetime earning? Yeah, lifetime earning so far. So Connor will be okay wherever he goes. He's made $92 to $95 million playing hockey. That has nothing to do with personal endorsements. Let's say another 50 to 75 in personal endorsements, if we're being generous. But you want to win or you want to get paid? Because it kind of doesn't work yet of having both. Because if Leon's making 12 and he's making 18, that's $30 million. You don't have enough for the rest of the roster.
Nick, lost my wallet at the 620 studio last week picking up my tickets. There was $5,000 in there. I'll head to the city this Friday to pick it up. She gone. Jeffrey.
Hey, Curtis's perms aren't free. Sorry.
Jeffrey.
That money is long gone.
Comes back with another beauty. This is where Jeffrey loses us, so. He's delusional. McDavid signs with the Flames July 1st, 2026. Yeah. I think the thing that really hit home for me was, I think it was the first, 3-4 months ago now, when he said I'm going to sit down with my family and agent and all that. You don't have a family, man. You have a young wife who probably wants to live on a beach and has a bistro that wants a bistro in, Manhattan, Laguna Beach. What's down in Miami? I don't know. I don't know if she wants it in Northwest Edmonton, although the mall is pretty deadly. And then the other thing, there's no family to talk to. What, are your parents still making the call for you? No. He's not signing a one year deal. That would be, the Oilers would be like, we're screwed.
When they start, usually, Barney, this, listing mom, dad, wife, DoorDash driver, Sharky's hunting guide, like I said on Friday, when they start going through the laundry list of everybody that gets a vote, it's never usually good news.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2 years, prepare yourself if you're an Oiler fan. He's going to go. Whether they win a cup or not, he's going to go at some point. He's going to be gone. Leon's different. Leon lived in PA. Leon smoked cigarettes at a wedding with no shoes on. We get down with guys like that. He is Saskatchewan. That is Prince Albert. Did you see that crazy video of that lady outside the McDonald's in PA yesterday? That was nuts.
The thing is, Leon is going to be like, Chikai, what? If he doesn't sign, Leon is going to be, because this ain't Mark Messier. When Gretzky left town, Leon is going to be up what creek. That ain't good. They either got to be together, or Leon ends up in Vegas or wherever, and Connor ends up. And I talked to one Edmonton fan who wasn't thinking with his heart, and has said, "Yeah, I am really worried here. This isn't good." So where it leads,
if they'd won a cup already, I think he'd be long gone and he'd be a Toronto Maple Leaf, so he could go save that franchise and be a hockey hero there. But since they haven't won, that's the hard part. Is that does Edmonton give him the best chance to win where he is? Although a lot of people think they got better in the offseason, you lost a lot of playoff grit. Say whatever you want about Scory Perry and Evander Kane. In the playoffs, those guys, they're gamers.
Here's my hot take, which I hate doing. Oilers are not playing in the Stanley Cup final again next year.
Ooh, Barney.
Nope. Vegas is going to be really good. Who's going to be sneaky? What's Los Angeles going to do? Dallas. There's a lot of good teams. And
don't forget the Jets aren't going to be awful.
Jets go run it back one more. Awful. Let's go. Chevy, let's win. I don't understand why Toronto, everyone just automatically thinks he's going to go live in Toronto. He's going to go from one pressure cooker to the biggest one of all. Why would you want to do that? What's Lauren say about that in the dog? What's the dog's name?
But then watch somebody like Julian Brisebois, who probably on his phone in his notes already has the McDavid package laid out, and all of a sudden he's just going to swoop in there and be like, and he's now a Tampa Bay Lightning. And then they reload and go again.
Lenny.
Because you're right. Do you want to go to Toronto if you just left Edmonton, or do you want to go somewhere where you can have a nice life and live a lower profile and be rich and play good hockey?
And Lenny can go for walks any day. Nice weather. Maybe a little hot in the summer. But, yeah, he's going out. He's not going out for a walk when it's minus 45. The wind's blowing in Edmonton. You have to be worried. Again, it's not our lane. It's not... It's just a nice little talking point.
If this goes on all season, and it will, could you imagine the sideshow circus that this is going to turn into in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months? And then if the playoffs come around and nothing's done.
No, it has to get done. That's why.
I know, because it will be a sideshow, because he's going to come out and say, I'm not talking about it anymore, even if there's no deal, just for the sake of, but it will get talked about.
Nick is stating the obvious here. Oilers really pigeonholed themselves with the Nurse contract, can't get a goalie. I feel, too, they've lost some grit. I don't mind Skinner as a goalie. If you put Stu Skinner in what he's done the last 2 years, he has let in some bad goals. A lot of goalies have. If you put Stuart Skinner with Vegas, with Dallas, if we're staying in the West, different, like they were trying to get by with some real 10 and 15 cent commons, if you're for your hockey card collectors back in the day, and they were trying to make it work. And that's a lot of pressure on everybody. And yeah, the Darnell, I said it. He should have bought part of the Elks to help the city out. And that, just at Halloween, put an Oiler jersey on and wear a balaclava and go as Darnell Nurse. Robbed him. He robbed him. We got a break already? Oh, the show's done.
Whoa, what? Whoa.
Wow. Thanks for everyone who texted in. Curtis is going to award this KFC for text of the day. We got more winning tomorrow. We're going to talk some AAA midget. The Pat C's got awarded the Western Regionals, which is awesome. More on the Riders, everything from Rider Camp. Flag football. We're going to talk to a Saski coach who's part of the women's national team. And then Pump Jacks Cathedral trivia tomorrow. Maybe it'll be something about Joshua Bell. People that were listening today to try and win. Baz, good show. Curtis, good job over there always. Thanks for tuning in. It was for Kellen Solar. All your solar needs in Lumsden, Saskatchewan. We'll talk to you again in 24 hours.